testing low-level light recording with my new little handheld video camera. Actually, see what it's like while I'm walking as well. There's TJ out in the field. The display is very crisp. I'm quite surprised at the display of this little camera.
Hello there.
There's TJ waving. I don't know if he's calling for help or saying hi.
Yes, I'm doing my evil thing. See this?
No, happily not. I'm going into the RV. Flip on low-level light. Wow, the colors on this camera are amazing. If it shows out like that on the computer, that'd be amazing. I like the display on this little tiny thing. It's little. It's a very little display. But these colors look incredible. Now my camera would be having a hard time with this right now. Let me go right up at the lights. See what it does with the lights. Oh, it pretty much shows the lights. Wow. Wow, I can't wait to see this. This is impressive. If this looks like it does on the display, then I'm impressed. This is normally something you would not see with my other camera. Let me see, here's low level. There's my little orange toolbox. Barely visible. Now my other camera would definitely not show that. Dark kitchen sink. My other camera would not show that. If this shows this, I will be very excited. Tripping over wires. I'm in the bedroom. Looking at the light bulb. Wow. I can see the light bulb. A little bedini. I have to adjust it. Just testing all the corners and angles with this little thing. See how it works. This would not show up with my other camera. I hope this shows up. TJ is holding a fluorescent light tube against the electric fence. He's grounding the one end of the tube in his hand.
And it's not burning.
And the other end of the tube is touching the fence. Hold on. Oh, now we have an electric fence tester. This is really good because we, short of holding the wire, we didn't know if all the lines were working or not. So this is pretty cool. And this is my new camera I just got in the mail today. And I think this is going to show up. I hope this is going to show up. Now, let's turn around here. It's pitch black out here at night. Well, it's not pitch black, but my camera shows it's black. Alright, I'm recording. The sky is nearly black. I do hope this shows up. This is my new HD video camera. Now, watch this.
Hit the remote.
There's...
Oh, you can actually see with this one.
Yeah, this camera is so far, I'm quite impressed. I'm gonna walk around this way. Now, my other camera wouldn't show anything. I can see right now the awning. See here? I can see the awning, I can see the RV. I mean, we can see everything with our eyes. I'm seriously hoping this shows this better than my other camera did. Here we can see there's the what am I trying to say, windmill. You can see it.
Heater that's right there?
You can see it in the light. Reflecting. This should definitely, at least this should show how much light there is out here if you can see this. If this shows up, you can see the individual plant leaves out here. Oh, there's a spider. I hope this shows up.
Hey.
This is a good test of this phone. I keep saying it's a phone. It looks like a phone. Yes.
Just point it at the ground for
Actually,
a little while.
Look at your shadow.
No, no.
Yes?
Point it at the ground for a little while.
Yeah?
No, way up here. And when a moth passes that,
Oh, yeah.
there'll be a bat down here.
Well, there's nothing up there right now.
No, you just turned it on. So we'll come back to it.
Alright, I'm going to look at TJ. You wanted to talk about why you don't need a electric fence tester.
Yeah, why would you buy one when you can make one for $0.00 your cost?
If you happen to have a fluorescent light laying around.
Come on. Everybody's got at least one.
Probably. TJ and I would like to show you an update to our electric fence tester.
That's a little safer.
Yeah, it's safer. The fluorescent light bulb is pulsing, but TJ is not touching, you can't see it, but he is not touching the metal of any part of this bulb at all. But the bulb is touching the electric fence, and it is pulsing. I do hope this shows up on camera. The bulb is pulsing, it's pulsing dimly, but it is pulsing. So this is a do-it-yourself freebie electric fence tester. All my video today will be done with the new camera, so if you notice something different, you'll know it's because of the camera. The display looks nice, the colors are crisp. Baby cat's enjoying the nice weather today. It's gonna be in the low 70s, maybe mid 70s today. But, well, look at the moss. I think that should show up well in here. If anything, I think the color is good on this. Well, here we got the birds out again today. We're experimentally seeing if we can leave them out. Yeah, it's funny, the hen is setting up a pecking order with the little tiny rooster. They're all enjoying the ability to run and play and eat bugs. The fence is on. But I found out that chicken feathers insulate against an electric fence. So, it's not going to keep them in. We have to just keep an eye on them. We hope to get the garden done today. And I have some more reinforcing on the tomatoes to do. And we also want to make a food dryer this weekend, if not today, then tomorrow, to start processing some of this food that we're going to start pulling out. And this is an amaranth bed. I don't know if you all remember me pulling in a load of dirt from a farm, and actually it started growing weeds, which is what farmers hoe out. Farmers pay good money to remove these weeds, but truth is, this is a healthy vegetable, which I decided to let it grow and eat it. This is a very valuable vegetable that people pay for. And the amaranth seed is a good grain that people use. So I'm just going to harvest this stuff, let it grow. It's food growing right there. An extended part of my garden. Now TJ is going to start pulling out grass. You can see a little spot I did here. He's going to pull out the grass along the edges here throughout the weekend. And we're going to actually plant beans and peas along the perimeter of the garden, right up the fence, so it can grow right up the fence all the way around. And I'll be planting in the middle my various faster growing vegetables. Now this is a mess out here today, construction zone. By the way, the generator is not working. I'm going to buy a spark plug today, and if that fails I'll have to take it back. Sad, it's just odd that it would quit like that, but I heard with Harbor Freight If you get a good one, you got a good device that'll last you for a long time. If you get a bad one, you got to take it back and hit and miss until you get one that works. Now I've just removed all the bracing and supports on the new wall, and it is standing. It is up, and it did stay. So it's sad that there's a scratch on the wall right there. I was really upset about that. Having a brand new wall with a scratch before I'm even done renovating. It's really annoying. But I'll have to deal with it. And I'm going to put this other piece up today around the window. That's going to require some cutting and manipulating to get this up here, because I'm really going to have to be careful about cutting around this window frame to make sure it fits right. So I do this one right. And this is going to be a very small piece, and it's going to have to curve around to fit this spot. So this is going to be some tough work. Although I can do that part later. What I really have to do is get this piece on today, curved around the window, and cut neatly. I don't know if you can see this is white on white, but I've run a piece of tape along the length of the board. Morning. As we are about to cut this board. So yeah, I've marked it on the back side with pencil and run it. Now I'm about to make a cut, but what I've done is run the tape along here, right along the edge of the cut. And how I did it, instead of trying to measure and all that, I measured this out, this line, and then I marked it off with a straight edge and a pencil. And what I did is I wrapped my tape around this end, and then strung out the tape and unwound it all the way without touching it to the wood. And then I held the tape roll out, brought it around the pencil marker, and then I just press it straight. Now the reason for this is so that when I cut this, it shouldn't split and splinter on the painted side as I cut. So we'll hopefully prove that theory in a little bit here. Actually, I'll leave the camera rolling.
Theory yesterday.
True.
Or the day before.
We'll leave the camera rolling and hopefully do a safe, good, clean cut. You want to grab the bottom? Alright, now if you'll help me along this edge as we go. I just need you to follow along just ahead of me, right, so it doesn't break as it gets near the back end.
And no lifting. Just support.
Now, when I remove this tape, TJ, I'll give you the honors of removing that tape. Look at that. Nice, crisp, clean edge.
But on the back side, you can take a look and see how nasty it is.
Yeah, flip it over. Easy.
Now, last part of this.
And then we rough off the junk here. Lay it down. Smooth it off. Alright, I've got some more cuts to make, but there it is. There's one piece for the new inside wall. Now I've got this line here. I'm actually going to tape this now and show you what I did a minute ago and how I did this. On my tape. Simply start it on one side. This is the easy way, without going through a lot of trouble marking your board. And I'm just lining it up and centering it on the other side. Press it on and make my cut. That's it. to have a clean cut. Not too bad at all there. I can accept that. It's not bad at all. It's worse if you don't tape it. Now this is true slave labor. I don't give TJ a lawnmower to mow the lawn. No. I said, pull the grass by hand, and I want it done right. People, this is sarcasm. Look at TJ. Smile for the camera. He's not mad.
I'm only smiling because he's holding a whip in the other hand.
No, you didn't hear that. Yesterday, bad day. Today, good day. I know what I'm doing now. Oh, and I found a use for that non-working generator. I found a very good use for it. It wasn't designed for this purpose, but it works great for propping up a wall. That's all it's good for right now. But I am got this other piece on. It was quite a job. I think Leatherman should start paying me because I used my Leatherman to cut this contour. What I did is I took the wall and I propped it up against, I should have recorded me doing that, but it was awkward. I cut the board to the size, and then I held it up here and I took a screw, and I used, because I couldn't get anything else in here, I used a screw to mark on the back side of the wood to give me an idea of where I need to cut, and I did that same here. And then I went out and I cut, you know, a little bit to the outside of that. There's not much tolerance here. There's not much tolerance at all. So I was surprised when it did fit without messing up. I mean, really, that's not much playroom in there. Now there is, I tried using my circular saw and it did make some marks on here because I didn't use tape. I cut on the top side. Now you can see what happens if you use a circular saw without tape. So I'll have to do some touching up in this corner, in this top here. But I really thought that would go upwards more than it does. It doesn't go into here as far. This was supposed to go up inside here. And so because it didn't fit well, I used a hammer and pounded that down inside there against the floor. I'm going to have trim down around the floor edges anyway. Oops, knocked my own support out. This fit in here nicely. Slipped right in this trim, smooth and easy into this lip. So that looks really good right there. Really good. Now there's going to be a trim piece here, a piece of wood I'll glue on or double-sided tape on. Believe it or not, all the trim in here was taped onto the walls before. And I think I'll cut a little corner off and I'll take this frame off and glue it on from the inside. And then I'll just probably use some wood filler and some paint to fix my mistake. And I'll have to figure out how to fix the my friend's mistake. So I'm going to now cut this piece. Now that I know that this liquid nails has 500 hours before it cures properly, and I have plenty of time to mess with it. Oh, look at that. This stuff is fragile. Look at that. I don't even know how that happened. This stuff is so fragile. It was $13. I guess you don't buy cheap if you want a good job, but I needed, RVs are supposed to be lightweight, so I bought the thinnest lightweight stuff you could get. And it looks good. It's just really a bugger to work with. So anyway, am going to cut this here next, and then I can screw down the window trim permanently and let the liquid nails do its job. And then I'm probably going to do the hardest of all, is going to be to cut this curve. Now I was at the dollar store and I bought some brown wrapping paper, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape it on here and then try to use a knife and get the contour of that. This is going to be so awkward, but I'm going to try to use a knife to get that contour and get this paper formed into there to try to figure out how that's going to work. Ugh, I don't know, I don't look forward to that part at all. Not at all, cutting that piece. But I gotta figure it out. It's angled down and curved, so boy, that's not going to be easy at all. And that part came out in little tiny bits and pieces, so I couldn't save it to use it as a template. Now, the next thing we want to do today, I hope today, because I know this has to cure, but I'll at least measure and cut the boards for the battery box. And I'm going to bring a battery or two in here and see. I hope that the golf cart batteries will fit here and the height-wise, and see if I can get that battery box at least cut and prepared today. And also another thing I never did yet is I'm going to finish painting the bottom here, which I never did. I need to use a dirty brush and with some paint in a little container that I don't mind getting dirty, and paint this floor. That's got to be finished. But it's coming along. It's coming along well. This still needs a second coat up here. I'll be finishing that. But the living room will very soon be ready. And then I want to get my entertainment center put up here. TJ and I are going to build it using some very pretty pallet wood that I found outside, and these wooden trim pieces that I bought the other day. And we'll hopefully tomorrow night have a movie night in here. The floor will have to come later, but we're really working hard and trying to get this all done. The next thing is I'll be scrubbing inside the cabinets and starting to move in. But I told TJ, when we get this done in here, we're going to rent a movie and watch a movie right here on the big screen TV. So I can't wait. I really hope we get it done today. Oh, and the next thing I'm doing while that's curing, I'll be cutting these steps and try to get this board out in here. That's going to be hard because I have to cut. Herb, when he was here, told me obviously I have to cut along the middle of the frame so I can butt up good wood against old wood right here, and then go past the bad spot and also to the next frame point and butt it up here. So I'm going to probably come out. There's a I'm going to probably come out almost all the way up in front of the cabinet here, the kitchen cabinet, and over to here, past the stairwell with new wood. So I hope that the wood I have is going to be the right thickness for that. And I'm going to build the stairway right now. Well, I'm getting the last screws in the trim of the window. I think it's going to be okay. Well, there's my brand new living room wall. Still have to let that spot cure. That'll have to sit for a while. But the window frame is in and holding things in place. I'm going to have to get some trim, and this wouldn't wedge under there no matter what I tried, so I might have to touch up with some little bits of paint here and there, little spots. But other than that, it's coming along. There, I'm going to need a spot of trim over here. And along the door, I definitely need some trim. This was, believe it or not, double taped on, the original trim here. And then I'm going to have to go across the top of the door with something. I might just come along and rip out this whole trim all around the door frame and redo that new. And I have some pieces that'll be left over when I'm done that I can always use to cut and paste and pretty up this side. But this is exciting. It's been a long, hard job, but it's coming along, and it's getting there. This is really looking good. I'm excited. So there's my white painted wall. It's really hard to show you on video because the camera just doesn't show the you just can't catch everything as you can with your eyes. I'll be finishing that up next. Actually, I'm doing the stairs next. But oh, that looks nice. And it's so much brighter in here now. In winter, that'll make a huge difference. Actually, in cloudy days, it'll make a huge difference. What a mess. In my room. Trying to redo the floor right now. I'm surprised there was nothing here to stop critters from getting in this area. I think I want to extend that a little bit for safety. There's some old rotted screws up in here. Couldn't get out for anything. I don't know what I'm going to do about those screws. Screw down into the metal. I'm starting to think the stairway is one of the worst of the projects for the amount of work involved. Demolition wise. I think they had this glued down as well as screwed. I fear this part on the bottom here is going to be a nightmare because I'm thinking it probably goes under the door trim, which is not going to make this an easy task. And these screws are rotted beyond belief. These are fat screws. They're not coming out normally. is really bad. Well, my literal generator's broke. The big one's pouring gas like a sieve. I just turned on the gas. Watch, here it comes. Gas starts pouring out. Faster and faster and faster. There it goes. Gas is pouring out. What happened is, I got the engine running, but what happened is when I cleaned it, look at it, gas is going to start gushing. Look at that. I'm just pouring my gas out. Look at that. Pouring it out on the ground. So now I can't use this. It's useless to me now. And this is such junk inside it, I can't do a thing with it. I cannot work on it inside. I got it cleaned out so well now that the seat's clean, and all the goop that was stopping it from leaking is gone. I can't run it now. I've tried and tried and tried and tried. That seat is wrecked. It's worn out. And that's it. Done. Somebody did ask me, there's no serial number on this, sadly. There's a model number 62025, I think it is. Somebody asked me to get him the number 62025, but seriously, there's no serial number on here. 7000455. That's all there is. 7000455. Model 62025. That's all I can say. This carburetor is junk. There's nothing more I can do. Engine starts and runs perfectly smooth now. Perfect. But I can't make it to stop leaking gas because the needle inside is it's worn out. That's it. I don't know what else I can show you. It's a Toro T2500. There is no other indications on the engine that I can find. There's nothing else on there. I need a generator. I can't believe my brand new one died. I lent this out to friends and they brought it back not working anymore. And I need a vacuum cleaner for the renovation work in here. I gotta be able to clean this out. I really would like to clean this out better, and a brush just doesn't get it as well as a vacuum would. But I have no way to run a vacuum now, so just have to do what I can with a brush. I'd like to do this right and do it well, but I can't. Well, there was no insulation in this motorhome on the floor. I'm going to have to do some work before winter. There's a 3/4 inch piece of plywood and this particle board underneath it. That's it. There's a piece of aluminum to stop the bugs and mice, and that's it. That is your insulation on the floor. The good news is, in a lot of spaces like here, you can jam up some foam up against underneath here. I might be able to run foam up from the bottom up and try to glue it on or something, or somehow get it in there underneath. Now, I probably won't drive this motorhome much anyway if I do get it running. And I think if I can get foam insulation up against the frame, or even spray on or something, one day, it'll certainly help. This is a stairwell. There was zero, absolutely zero insulation. There was nothing here but a piece of wood. That's it. Just a piece of wood. No insulation. Put a different spark plug in it, just like everybody says. Fired right up. Smoking out and cleaning the engine out. The other plug wasn't burning hot enough. Or right, I don't know. It was sparked, but it wasn't burning. And what happened, I think, is the engine just filled up with unburnt fuel and oil and bogged down. Look at it cleaning itself right up as I talk. Running smooth. The original spark plugs in the Harbor Freight generator have to go. Right out of the box they have to be replaced. I don't know why they don't learn from that. But there it is running. Spark plug swap, and that's it. I'm just running a battery charger on this just to run some little bit of load. And I'm just going to let this run for a while through a tank of gas, charge the battery, and break in the machine a little bit. Well, I got one of my steps partially in. I'm having a bugger of a time getting this down all the way. TJ had a great idea, make it fit tight and hammer it down, but unfortunately now it won't go up or down, so that's a bit of a problem. Now this one is rotted out really bad, but it goes underneath the door trim, underneath the edge of the door frame, and I am not pulling apart this door frame. So I'm cutting a piece to fit tightly all the way across, and I'm going to put it up on here. There are screws and some contact points in the wood that'll still hold, and if I make it tight enough it should work out well, I hope. But I'll have this going today, and again this wall is done, which I showed you before, but I'm also going to put this backboard up yet today and hopefully even get the floor done, but that's going to depend on if I have anything left over from this piece of plywood or not. I have to see how that works out with the new battery box, which I'll be doing. My battery for my saw is on the charger. Of course, now I got the generator running, so I might be able to use that to cut the wood with. Well, I'm getting it. Stairway's going in. This fits nicely in here. I think I still got to beat it down on this side a little bit more. It's going in hard and tight, but I guess that's a good thing in a way. Here I'll have to make the backboard yet, but I think I'll make this part first before I do that backboard. See, baby cat, she just likes packages. She doesn't care. Whoa! Baby cat wants to be in the middle of things. I just got a package in the mail from Link Night, all the way from Australia. Let's see what we have here. Oh, isn't that funny? How's that for good timing, TJ?
Yeah.
Gap filler. That's nice. What do we got here? Oh, weird. I wonder what that came off of. That's curious.
Is it a wind chime or something?
No, it's some wire though, magnet wire. And there's the cap for the gap filler. Well, thank you, Link Night. The timing for this is perfect because I'm going to be sealing all the gaps in the RV to keep bugs out. As soon as I'm done inside, I'm going to use this stuff to seal along the floors and stuff. So, thank you. It's perfect timing. Well, I've just cut that board. Now, it's not shaped, and it's actually not going to go down to the floor like it is now. I just have it C-clamped in place. I wanted to get all the boards inside so that they wouldn't be damaged from the rain that's coming in a day or so. So I just put this up and C-clamped it out of the way. That is not how it's going to be. It's actually going to be up to the ceiling and have that curve cut out of it. And it's going to be a few inches off the ground here so I can access that area under the fridge. That will be an access panel in the future. But I just also wanted to see what it looks like. See, white walls here. Look at this. White walls everywhere. The living room is coming along. Look at that. White walls. It's looking good. Too bad the fridge wasn't white. That's a dark hole right there because it's that brown vinyl stuff. But anyway, a little difference in the color is fine. Look what else. This white walls, everything pretty white. Nice and clean and white. Now, I still want to get these cut tonight. It's already 5:30, getting on 6 o'clock. I still want to cut these boards for the battery box down here. Problem is, I've discovered I've set up a board here for comparison. I just happen to have a piece left over from my previous work. This is 12 inches tall, just 12 inches tall, and it comes right up even with this deck. Now, I'm going to need 12 inches of space for the batteries. Normally not a big deal, but I also want to reinforce this floor because we're talking 80 pounds a piece for those golf cart batteries. So I'm going to put a sheet of plywood down on the floor first, and then after that I'm going to put the battery box. And this is, I'm not going to have a back wall here, that's just for show so I can see the height. So the battery box is going to stick up 3/4 inch higher than this floor, and then on top of that is a 3/4 inch shaded plywood. So that's inch, what is that, 3/4, 3/4, inch and a half higher. And then my bench idea, which is another 3/4 inch, so it's going to be 2 1/4 inch higher than this deck, which I guess isn't too bad. I don't have my tape with me. I think I'm going to lay something up here and get an idea. I'm going to cut my sheets because they got to be 18 inches wide regardless. I'm going to have 3 18-inch wide sheets anyway. So I'm going to cut them and get a feel for this. And then I can see how it's going to look. By the way, my little camera that I just got, I like it a lot. It was really cool, but the battery ran out. So now I'm using my old camera again. The problem is I tried to charge it into a standard wall charger that I had, and it said low power USB port, not charging. It has to be plugged into a laptop for 4 to 6 hours. Unfortunately, anytime I'm using my laptop, I've got both ports used. So I don't have a free port for charging. It's only got 2 ports on that laptop. So this is going to be sitting aside for a little bit, sadly. I really like it. Well, that's the size of the deck for the battery box. Now, that's pretty big, but again, I have to have my batteries inside for winter. You all know that. Everybody knows. I'll still have room for this chair comfortably. That's fine. This is going to be a bench anyway, and also I'm going to have cushions all the way across it to lay on, so that'll be fine. And it's also going to fold outwards this way another 18 inches, so it'll come out pretty far into the room when it's a bed. But there's, I mean, it's a large battery box. But again, that's going to be both my bench and my battery box, so it's dual purpose.
And it's going to have 2 different battery circuits in there. Your 100 amp hour and
yeah, it's going to hold 2 sets of battery banks. So I think we can go with this. I think we can do this. Now we've got to make another one for the floor to reinforce the floor for the batteries, because I definitely want to have the battery flooring reinforced with this heavy-duty plywood.
And we're going across the I-beams so that we're spreading out the weight across the whole.
Yeah, well, the weight of the batteries is going to be across the whole width of the camper from right to the left. And like I said, another 3/4 inch piece of plywood for reinforcement, because those batteries are 80 pounds a piece. So it's going to be a lot of weight. As much as, what, with 10 batteries, that's 800 pounds in here. That's a lot of weight.
All on your nose, too.
Well, I just cut up those cucumbers I pulled out of my garden. This is from the Trail of Tears seeds that I was given off from a guy off YouTube. Sorry, I forgot your name. Have to look you up. But anyway, he told me that these are supposed to be orange-brown when ripe. I said I was going to throw them to the birds, and he said those are not for the birds. So I mixed them up with some artichoke hearts here, and with the juice from the artichoke hearts, and I'm going to have myself a nice fresh salad. For the record,
he finally fed me.
TJ also has this garden salad. Happiness?
Yes, your slave is so thankful
for
rewarding me for...
They're going to kill me.
Awesome, dude. Thank you.
Yeah. Look at this construction zone. Like, mega construction zone here. There's stuff everywhere. What I'm going to do, I'm going to build a frame for the battery box out here in the ground. Modular, and bring it in pieces. That's the top board right there laying there. Look at that white wall. Isn't that nice? Nice steps. Today was a good day. Yesterday was a bad day. Today was a good day. So anyway, I'm going to bring this in here piece by piece so that I can get it in. Otherwise, well, you'll see once I put it together, but it'll be better to do it like this, modular. Today TJ went and with his hands pulled out all the grass all along the whole perimeter of the garden. It was easier to do it by hand. I have a tool for that, but it was just easier to do it by hand. Otherwise you get blisters from it. And now we're going to plant beans along this perimeter now and let them climb up the fence. There's the frame up. I've got it in here. It's going to be very rugged. In this way, or this way we can sit on it, bounce on it, lay on it. It's heavy duty. We're going to finish the next frame, or the outside piece right now, and I do believe we will have this whole thing finished tonight.
If you don't run out of battery power.
If my batteries don't run out. I'm on my second power drill. Well, there's the frame for the battery box. It's quite large, but it's also going to be a bench or sofa and bed. So, and it's also going to be the footrest for the main chairs. So it's quite large, but that'll bring the batteries in here, so they'll be warm or cool depending on the environment inside the RV. And I've still got quite a bit of living room space here. You see the chair and how much space is on the each side of the chair there. Next to that, it's not bad at all. It's going to be okay. And actually, that could also be a card table for chairs sitting on the floor here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I figured I'd put cushions along this for sitting. I can sit up to 7 people in here now just with the chairs that are here plus the bench. Actually, I could put 5 on that comfortably.
Sure.
Weight-wise, my friends are thin. Anyway, there it is. That's the frame. So now I've got to cut the outsides and the corners and start piecing it together. Looking good. Well, there's the new deck in place, and it still doesn't take up too much. There's so much living room space we have left. TJ, come on up here and show us how much room we got in here. Yeah, that's not bad. He's sort of falling, actually. Now...
Yeah, we have fed me too much fiber today.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're going to test the leg rest.
Yeah, I'm going to test the leg room on here.
Hey, why don't you show them how strong it is by standing on it?
Now, what I was doing here is I was going to have this sitting. So I've got... Oh yeah, that's comfy. I can put my legs up when I'm in this chair. That works for me. That's totally relaxing.
Well, knock
you can put your feet up, you can do whatever. Yeah. Footstool. This is comfy. TJ, guinea pig.
What, stand on it?
No, don't stand on it. Sit in the chair and tell me what you think. We're not ready to stand on it yet. There's only 2 screws each. What do you think?
Oh, much better.
Comfy.
Much, much more comfy.
That's good with that. Yep, so that's going to have the board down here, the 3/4 inch plywood running across the top. That's going to be rugged once that's down. Then you'll be able to walk on. Oh, he's already gone. He's already left us.
It's comfy. It's much more. See, like this?
Yeah. Yeah, like this before. See, his feet are hanging off the ground. And that was uncomfortable. That was uncomfortable. Yeah, your circulation's cut off at the knees. That was a dumb setup, like how they made this. Alright, well, there it is. Tomorrow we'll finish it.